is hit this button,
Not that button.
and it should go to my face. Hey guys, I'm my own producer, and I'm bad at it. So, welcome again. We're gonna make this work. This is Dimension Dorks. I'm Loki Hatesu. These are my guests. Who shall we introduce first? There's everybody's beautiful faces. Let's get one of our veteran players introduced first, Mr. Pao.
Hello, I am Michael Pao, aka Mr. Pao, and I am playing Valkos Valerio, the Reverend Priest of Love.
Reverend Priest of
Reverend Priest of Love.
So are we gonna get a lot of pop culture sort of references
Oh,
tonight?
you betcha.
You're gonna be doing like some hunka burning love.
Sadly, I left my phone down in my car, which actually has some pre-recorded music, but I'll try to badly sing some of the lyrics I still do remember.
Well, I mean,
Or get Lemar to sing it.
we're about to introduce the rest of the characters, so if you do want to run down to your car, you can do that right
Okay,
now.
all right.
All right. There it is.
I hope you can
This-
get back in.
Yeah, just make sure the door clicks open. Okay, cool. This is the sort of structured broadcasting experience that you're going to be in for tonight.
I'm
Professionalism.
fine.
Yeah.
Fine with it.
Courtney.
Hi.
Courtney Kraft.
Hi, that's me. I'm Courtney Kraft. Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
First time on Dimension Dorks, and we're so happy to have you.
It is. I've been wanting to do more streams lately, so this is very exciting.
We're always looking for people that I don't have to spend a lot of time scheduling, so
Yeah.
that's perfect fit. So tell us a little bit about what you're up to, what you do, and
Oh, well, I've been working in geek culture for 15-ish years now. I've come from G4 and Anime Expo and Geek and Sundry, Nerdist and all that stuff. So I've always been the person who's supported other people's RPGs, and now I'm like, I want to play them. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
we appreciate you coming out.
And the character I'm playing tonight is a character I played back in college when we did 3.0.
Oh, really?
So I don't remember a lot about this character, but I'm excited to have her back. Her name is Haruka, and she's a crazy-ass barbarian gourmet chef. So I'm looking forward to going and diving back into her again.
I look forward to seeing what you're going to cook up for us tonight. Well, thank you so much, Courtney. Tiffany, also known as the Steamstress,
That's me.
nerd playgirl extraordinaire. Tell us what you're up to, where we can also, what kind of other Nerdbot experiences can we have with you?
Yeah, well, if you're free this Saturday, you can have an Anime Pasadena experience with me. So our big convention is actually this Saturday. We're doing an awesome Nerd Nights afterwards, so that's going to be amazing. But on all of my personal stuff, you can find me all across the board on pretty much any social media channel under the Steamstress, and all the fun stuff is on the Patreon.
Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've seen some of the stuff that's not even on the Patreon. Still pretty fun. Well, thank you so much for coming out. This will be your first time playing.
And this is my first time playing. Yeah,
All right.
This is my first time playing. So
Well,
I'm excited.
I
I'll
will
need
say
help
this.
when I'm ready.
I'm here for you.
You'll probably not learn much about D&D tonight, but we will tell some dick jokes.
I like that.
And
I'm
that's-
always here for a dick joke.
That's how that's gonna go.
Well, you got a Priest of Love here, so.
Yeah, we got that. We got a love priest, so hopefully that doesn't get out of control quickly. And finally, but not finally. Oh man, I love that facial expression, Mr. Lemar Harris. How do you do?
Hi,
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
my name's Lemar. I do a lot of things at conventions, but I don't care about that. Today I'm playing Traut Hrash, the monk barbarian wrestler. We're coming after you, whoever's going down today. Yeah!
And that's why we get Lemar on the podcast, because he brings the energy. So, Lemar, what are some of the... It seems like every time I see you at a convention, you're doing a different named panel. I've seen you do Otaku Comedy Tournament.
Yep.
Haha Ballsy.
Haha ballsy, haha balls.
And what was the last one? Whose line is it anime?
I did, yes. Who Lines of Anime? I do, so my name is Lemar Harris. I do anime conventions all up and down in Southern California. I do mainly the comedy conventions, so Haha Ballsy is my stand-up comedy panel. We do Whose Line is an Anime, which is improv. We do Otaku Comedy Tournament, which is an amateur comedy competition that is trying to span out across all the different major cons in Southern California. And then my newest show is Make Weebs Laugh, which is a live try not to laugh challenge, where if you can survive 3 minutes of comedy and not laugh, you win a prize.
I feel like I could do
I want to
it.
be a part of that.
It's fantastic.
I would definitely fail at that.
I feel like I could just. I've had enough practice just being a dick that I could just be like, I'm not gonna laugh. I love it when people hate me. By the way, Tiff, the Fat Jedi Knight says hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm not gonna be reading the comments at all tonight, but Fat Jedi Knight, thanks for coming by, and we appreciate that you said something that I could read. So, without further ado, let's begin the game. As even our most inexperienced players know, this is a game set in a fantasy world where you are presented with choices, and you can go in any direction you want. It's not all left up to a roll of the dice, but once very important decisions start getting made, sometimes it is. So I will say this. The four adventurers that we open our scene upon are new friends. They've not known each other for years, but they are acquainted with one another, and they're all kind of in the same boat in that they need to get out of town. News has spread that if anyone's trying to get out of the city of Dirt Shallow, they may want to make their way to the secluded and closed-off city called Freechurch. Freechurch is a place of religious extremism, self-protection, and really bad beer. However, it is a city full of people that can be taken for all they're worth should a swindler come into their midst, which could appeal to potentially one or two of us. You have found your way to an encampment on the outskirts of Dirt Shallow, and you seek a guide. You've actually run into an old acquaintance of Traut's, who he met in a bar on a previous adventure, and his name is Guy. He's a cloaked figure, and he didn't seem that happy to see Traut, but he did recognize him. And so a conversation has begun, and he looks at Traut, who's standing with his three other friends, and he says, "You really want to go to Freechurch, huh?"
Yeah, we found some opportunities to make some money, get out of town. By the way, hey, how you doing? It's a long time no see. Have you met my new friends?
Oh, not yet. What was your name again?
I am Traut Hrash, the most powerful pro wrestling maniac you've ever seen. And these are my other friends. Introduce yourselves, because I forgot the names.
He looks to the Furbolg, who is not wearing any armor at all, and he says, "You're a big one, aren't you?"
Yeah, what of it?
Well, did you happen to bring a cloak with you? Because once you get to Freechurch, it's mostly humans there, and they don't take too kindly to people that look and act differently than them.
Sounds like a human problem.
Right. Good. How about you there? What are you? See your ears. What are you, a half elf?
Half elf on my mother's side.
Oh.
Just your humble servant of love.
What are you wearing?
Oh, the finest in Newport fashion. Got
I
my
asked him the same
very,
question.
very tight
We thought he was
leather
a pimp.
breeches.
Where do you get pink armor?
Pink armor? Oh, don't you know? It's the spring of love, and Valerio's always has to stay fashionable and 2 steps away ahead of the competition.
All right, well, keep your hands to yourself. And how about you, young lady?
I don't think that you need to call me a lady. And it's Triff, And you don't need to know much about me at all. All you need to know is that I've got my dragon in the cart, and the cart needs to go.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, by the way, there's a. By the way, I forgot to tell you, dragon in the cart. So, yeah. Oh, that's not a problem.
So
can't be right.
you should take us. Yeah.
What do you got? And he walks over to the horse-drawn cart, and he begins to inspect this large crate that you have, and he's like, "What? How old is it? I mean, it can't be that big. It's just inside this little box, and I don't even." He knocks on the side of the crate, and he's like, "You sure it's still in there?"
Can I cast my minor enchantment?
You cast Minor Illusion and create a sound from inside the box. The rest of the party hears.
I pat the box and shh, baby doll, honey, shh. It's all good. It's all just calm down. It's all cool, baby doll. It's all cool.
Don't anger my dinner.
He backs away and he says, "What the fuck are you doing with the dragon?
Transporting, can't you see?
What are you, I mean, are you trying to get somebody killed?"
Well, trying to transport a dragon.
Maybe get somebody killed.
Well, what happens, happens.
Well,
But you know, chicks dig dragons.
I'll tell you right now, one of the number one occupations in Freechurch is lawkeepers. They got a lot of town guard. So if you're trying to sneak something like a dragon in there, they might not love that. They might not love it at all, but I'm not exactly always on the right side of the law myself. So if you got the coin, then I can get you there.
What's the food like there?
It's mostly meat and bread. A lot of cheese.
Ooh, I like cheese.
They've perfected the art of heating up oil and then dipping sort of floury meat into that or other stuff.
I am fully familiar with the concept of frying, my friend.
Yeah, it seems to come with some sort of engorging magic. They are a large people.
Well, cheese is the morsel of love.
That's why I like this guy.
Nothing green.
Hey, listen. Pro tip. What was your name in the pink armor there?
Valerios.
Valerio. Oh, I thought it was Valkos. Valerios. If anyone ever calls you a morsel of love, maybe don't take it as a compliment.
I don't know. Depends. Depends on who's saying it.
All right. I prefer to be more of a main course of love, but anyways, I take gold up front. If you wanna get through the woods here, it's a pretty tough journey. So I'm gonna need 10 gold pieces per.
How about I open up my dragon box and he gets a snack instead?
It's like, well,
I gotta fatten up the dragon so I can cook it later.
And we can always find another guide.
you're welcome to try. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the woods I'm gonna take you through are pretty much the only way to get through undetected if you want to get to Freechurch. And as I said, if you're not going in disguise or with some sort of local escort, Freechurch is not going to welcome you with open arms.
Disguise. We have a pimp, a barely dressed barbarian, a person with a dragon on her shoulder and in the box, and me, Traut, the most powerful warrior you've ever seen. Anyway, so, DM, do I have any money?
Yeah, I mean, each of you, let's say, Traut, you've got like 9 gold and change. Like, you can give them everything you've got, and it'll be close, but it's not his asking price.
What about the rest of us?
I ain't got
Valkos,
10 gold.
due to your extracurricular activities, you're pretty well. You could actually pay for the entire party if you wanted to. Triff, I don't know if I listed how much gold you have. It should be on the second page under gold pieces. And Haruka, I believe you also have a gold inventory.
Nope.
Oh, you don't?
I do not have that much.
Okay, I'll be like,
Tell you what.
guys,
I'll cook you a good meal.
guys.
What?
Make peace, not war. I'll take
trying.
care of it. I'll take care of it, guys.
All right.
You just pay for my bar tab at the next town. How about
I
that?
see. I said he was a pimp.
Hey, not pimp. Negotiator of amore, okay? That's what I am.
That is amore. And Guy hefts the sack of 40 gold pieces, and he puts it behind his cloak on the back end of his belt. And he's like, well, it's getting a little... sun's a little high in the sky. We can take off now, but we might have to travel through the night. You opposed to that?
Nah.
You all well rested?
Yes.
Sleep when I'm
Good.
dead.
I'm good.
All right, well, you listen to me. We're going to be going through Ted MacLoeber's woods. He opens it up as a free hunting range to anyone who enter, because he believes in, I don't know, some sort of hunter's code, freedom to do what he wants, and resistance against paying taxes on doing, I don't know. He loves to hunt, and he loves it when other people come onto his land and try to compare themselves to him. He kind of fancies himself a big shot.
I hike up my pants. I'm always down to compare myself with another man in the hunt.
I think he's doing a slightly different type of hunting. I don't know if MILF hunting counts as the same kind of sport that he engages in.
Is that like a cow?
I'll tell you later.
Fine.
So, I'm going to tell you right now, if we run into anything, any trouble, I might make myself scarce, but I'll catch up with you.
Oh, good to know you will not be any help with this.
Hey, like I said, I haven't survived this long by
Being helpful. Gotcha.
being brave. You paid up front. I'll make sure I do right by you, but I'm not trying to get myself killed to sneak a bunch of outsiders into Freechurch. All right. If you're all ready to go, let's take off. And hey, keep that dragon quiet.
All right, let's boogie.
All right, so you take off into the woods. And as you do, he looks over to Valerios, and he says, so what's your actual trade? How do you make all that coin? You had plenty to hand over.
Oh, I work for the church, doing this and that, and donations from my congregation from town to town.
Conjugation?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Congregation, congregation.
Conflagrations.
All the rations. It's all the rage.
Well, listen, you're probably not going to find too much sport of the type you're looking for in these woods. It might be a pretty lonely journey, but maybe that's best. You seem like that pretty high-profile guy. So, the less noise, the better. How about you? You're a chef?
Yeah.
What's your signature dish?
I like nice, slow braised meat. Let me tell you, my friend, I've never cooked human before, but there's a first time for everything. So I hope that you are as true to your word as you say you are.
Well, I certainly, I'm good at getting through these woods, and hopefully I'm good enough at making myself scarce that should you decide on a human dish, I'm not going to be on the menu. Well, it seems like most of the wild game in this place isn't going to be too exotic. A lot of bears.
I can cook bears.
Fowl.
I can cook fowl.
Might run into a raccoon or two. And he slaps his shoulder and he says, a lot of insects too. Yeah.
That's not good eats.
Oh, perfect. Then we're in agreement about that one. So you continue forward. Let me make sure that everybody's on the right place here. You continue forward on a long path through the woods. The forest is not too dense, but should you veer off this path, you can see that these woods are thick. brambles tangle around ankle length. Yes.
I have a question. Since if we're all on the road, who's driving the cart?
The horse can be led by
Okay.
its stirrups, or what do you call it?
Reins.
Reins,
Okay.
right? Yeah,
Just
stirrups.
Curious.
Triff is leading the horse,
Okay.
as it is her horse. And he guy looks to Traut and he's like, "So whatever happened back at the bar there, Traut? I knew I recognized you from somewhere."
Yeah, right. So, you ever get a job like protecting a queen or a princess, and then she has like 15,000 royal guards who are just dicks the entire time? Anyway, we let her go to the party. We went to go teach some, fine bar patrons the finer points of chivalry, and
I think you almost set that place on fire. I feel like it was almost a riot.
I would not. I say that people made very strong decisions that may have heated up that place a little beyond the burning point. But that's beyond the point. Anyway, next thing we know, there's a cart barreling down the main street, and a very familiar scream for said princess or person of interest that we had to take care of, and we tried to go after it. I'm very fast, but a horse, unfortunately, still faster. I might be slightly faster than a horse now. I've grown a lot as a man in the last couple of years, but anyway, that's about it. And then we kind of decided we did our nice little tour. We had the reunion tour. And I had decided to go back to the World Wildlife Foundation. And
Wildlife. Oh, the WWF. Yeah,
the WWF. And we decided to fight again and raise my stakes as a professional wrestler. But unfortunately, I got into a little bit of problems with Triple M. And he kicked me out of the Wildlife Foundation, and now I'm doing the indie scene and just traveling in between promotions until I get my status back.
He says, "All right, well, I hope you've learned your lesson about racing horses. Maybe you'll be lucky enough not to have to wrestle any."
Don't tempt me, boy.
Don't touch my horse.
But it's a fine horse.
Yeah, you got a lot of animals to feed. It must cost you a fortune.
Oh, nothing costs too much if you're smart enough.
Have you met the sassiest elf we've ever seen?
I'm on board with that philosophy myself. And as you continue down the road, everybody roll perception. Actually, let me check some passive perceptions real quick. Yeah, everybody roll perception.
Perception should be. First thing, roll your d20. So you have 5. So your perception is here, so you're going to say plus.
We teach the skills here.
Anyway, I have a 9, so it doesn't matter.
9. Okay. What else we got?
have a
Anyone
10.
else? 10.
Rolled a 11.
11.
I have a 5.
We're not particularly
5.
observant people.
Dice is 5.
Oh, I do have a passive perception of 16, though.
Oh, my passive.
Oh, your passive is
27.
16?
I have
Yeah,
6.
so it's
then.
27.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Valkos, as the person who's sort of falling furthest behind in the party, you keep adjusting your belt and practicing dance moves as you walk. As you sort of pass by an opening in the trees, you notice that there's a whimpering sound to the north of you, and you hear. And
Like animal or person?
it's an animal noise. And you look to your left, and there seems to be what looks like a turtle person who is small. It's not as tall as an adult human being. And it's crying, and there seems to be a large panther-like creature that's nibbling on the back of its neck.
Okay. I pick up a pebble, throw it at whoever's in front of me in our party, and kind of, gesture towards what's going on over there.
Haruka, you get hit with a pebble from behind.
Fuck, man. Angry.
Yes, you see a turtle person, and you see a panther that's biting at the back of its
That's some
neck.
prime meat.
Okay.
Can we? Hey, yo, hey, guy person.
Yeah.
You said these are hunting grounds, right?
Whoa. Oh man.
So we can hunt.
Yeah, but it might not be best for us to stop to hunt. I mean, we're trying to get somewhere.
Just right there.
It's getting later in the afternoon.
I don't know. We gotta help the turtle, you know.
And my dragons could eat.
I mean, maybe the panther, but I feel bad for the turtle.
Well, I mean, I can't stop you, but if you start making a ruckus around here and one of the other hunters hears us, we're not wearing anything bright. They might mistake us for other game in the area.
Have you seen Valerios?
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right.
I'm gonna cast while we're talking. I'm gonna cast minor illusion to create like a sound.
Okay.
Behind the panther.
Okay, the panther hears the sound that you've created,
Like rustling of whatever or something.
and it immediately turns, panicked, to look in the other direction.
Scare it off.
As it does, it looks in your direction too, and it snarls at you, and then it makes to grab the turtle and run.
Okay. I'm gonna cast. Let's see, where is it?
I rushed the panther.
You're gonna rush the panther?
I want to throw a javelin at it.
Okay, let's roll initiative.
There we go.
Yay.
Roll a d20. D20 is your main dice.
I get intent. Ooh, that's terrible.
That number plus.
That was.
Well, at least I'm a
I
cleric.
rolled a 3 and a 2.
Okay,
Hang
I
on,
rolled-
That's a 5.
I got a 10.
okay.
13.
I have 16.
All right, hold on. Haruka, hit me again.
5
That's 5 after bonuses.
and advantage.
Oh man. Okay.
What did you roll? A 1?
A 3 and a 2.
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh.
Starting the game off.
Get rid of those dice.
Triff,
They aren't even mine. Goodbye.
what'd you get?
16.
1, 6, 16. Okay. Trout.
13.
13. Valkos.
10.
10. Okay.
Fumble in my backpack.
we're gonna
for
get
my javelins
wrecked.
for a while.
Yeah, so when all of this happens, the panther grabs this little turtle and it sprints north into the woods as fast as it can.
You're letting it get away.
It gets out of eyeshot very quickly as these woods are fairly dense, and as an animal, it seems to be able to travel faster through the woods than any human would be able to. So it makes it into the woods, and all of you have lost sight of it.
Damn it. It's gonna cook something real good.
So, Triff, you are up next.
Forget about the turtle. Let's just keep going.
Okay. So the animals have gone. But that having happened, you hear rustling in the southern end of the woods, and 3 figures emerge. 1 human and 2 large canine figures come out. The human is carrying an enormous crossbow. And he looks to you and he says, "Howdy, folks. Seems there's something strange around here. You tracking something down?"
Oh, we just stumbled on some wildlife doing their wildlife thing.
What'd you see? I've been hearing tales of a displacer around here, and I'm fixing to get my hands on it.
That might have been it, actually. That might have been it.
What did it look like?
Like a panther. Very sleek, black, and smooth.
Delicious.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Which way did it head?
Pointing towards the direction where it headed off.
And did it go in a hurry?
It was spooked.
God damn, you spooked it then.
It had a snack, though. It might sit for a minute.
Well, That's what you get. And he points to your cart and he says, for coming unprepared. Who brings a whole horse cart on a hunt? That don't make no sense.
Technically, not a horse cart.
And technically, we're not on a hunt.
I can see a horse right there. I see a cart right there.
Oh, I mean,
Come on. All right. Well, I mean, just because you're not any good at this don't mean you're not welcome here. Hey, everybody, I'm Ted. This is my land. I'm happy to have other hunters on here. We're all free to hunt as it should be and should always be. You know what I'm saying? But you're out a little late in the day. You planning on setting up camp soon, or?
That's why we have the horse cart.
Oh well, I mean, you're gonna sleep in that box. That's a pretty cozy accommodations for 4 people.
I am. I don't know what they're planning on doing.
Well, I'll tell you what. And he looks up at the sky and he says, "Sun's getting low now. If you want, you're welcome to bed down back at the cabin there. I got a fire going and hot meat on the stove. So." I mean, I always welcome visitors because, like I said, we're all free here to do what we want. So, let freedom ring. You know what I'm saying?
where's Guy?
That's mighty hospitable of you.
Here's the stove. I say we go.
Let's see where Guy is. Actually,
Where's Guy?
Guy. Yep, has disappeared.
God. Oh, damn it.
Guy has stealthed his way very far from you.
This guy's a coward. Trust me, he's not very much of a strong fighter. Well, it looks like we have no guide, and this old gentleman with his lovely puppies are offering us food and shelter, and the safety is always within numbers, so...
Some puppies. These are dire wolves, son.
I'm aware I was trying to be, tactful with the very fact that they're giant wolves, but anyway...
Ever tried to tame a dire wolf? I tell you what, they give you a hell of a nipping if you treat them the wrong way.
Yes, we've had some dire wolf quote-unquote fights back in the World Wildlife Foundation. They're quite a mighty foe.
Ooh, that World Wildlife Foundation. Ooh, they make me so mad.
Oh, no, they're a fine company. Just don't mess with the boss's son.
Yeah, they always want to protect everything because animals have feelings and stuff. I tell you what, every single one of them, I'd be better off on my dinner plate.
Damn right. I like this guy.
Well, come on back. Let's take a little walk. I'm happy to show you some hospitality, some Freechurch hospitality.
Good,
That's where I was born and raised.
I'm hungry, and this chef hasn't cooked a thing in days. What is wrong with you?
You aren't a trout. I'm still getting over that.
And also, guys, remind me next time we see Guy, I'm getting a refund. Just saying.
I mean, at least half. At least half.
No, the whole thing.
You take the southern path with Ted, and he leads you through several smaller wooded paths that are just barely big enough for that horse cart, Triff. But you make it through, and he brings you into an opening in a field, and he says, "Here it is, home sweet home. We're you can rest up, you can eat your fill, and everybody's welcome here." Now, we are going out tomorrow. If you're interested in trying to find this displacer with me, I just got myself a couple of new trophies, and I'm fixing to get a couple more in the near future, so...
Well, Ted, how about this? We're trying to make our way to a little church of no payment. So, how about with this? For the room and the board, we'll help you get your unfortunate displaced beast, and all you need to do is point us in the right direction. We'll be out of your hair. How about that?
Yeah, well, it's always a fair trade. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably going to do better tracking this thing on my own, as you seem to have spooked it on your own personal agenda. But I feel bad not inviting you, as you all do seem to be enthusiasts. But I could probably show you a trick or two tomorrow. Helpful. So come on in. And he brings you across the threshold of a stone wall into his sort of front yard, and he shows you a place, Triff, where you can sort of tie off your horse and rest the cart. So yeah, I mean, he's fixing to bring you in the house with him, unless anyone wants to make an excuse to stay outside or something.
I don't know if I trust this guy. I think I might stay out and tend the horse, and I'll let my shoulder dragon, fly free for a little while.
You are going to join us for dinner, though, right? You're going to.
Are you cooking?
Of course, I'm cooking.
Well, then I'll join.
For dinner.
Then I'll join.
Great.
All right, young lady. Well, listen, we're gonna have some victuals coming up in about an hour, so plenty of good grazing around here for your mare, and just come and open door policy for you. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
He brings his two enormous wolves around the back of the house, and he chains them to the back of the house. They seem to be extremely obedient to him, but not fond or excited in any way. These are well-disciplined canines. He comes back around the front of the house, and he's like, all right, got the dogs all tied up. They'll get theirs after we get ours. You know what I'm saying? Let's head on inside. And he takes you into the house, and immediately it is revealed to everyone but Triff, who's still outside with her horse, that this house is full of trophy kills. The walls are decorated with pelts of every type of forest animal, desert animal.
Oh, God damn it.
There's a couple of fish, but typically not anything oceanic.
Is there any trout?
There is no trout.
Okay.
None that. You're actually not that good at identifying fish for a person named Trout.
It's more of a family heirloom.
Right. So inside, there's actually three other guys, hunters, who are dressed in mixed earth tones, sitting around a table drinking ale. The ale is, all the mugs have the image of a unicorn with a really big dick, surrounded by stars, and some of them have emblazoned on them a writing that says "Stud Light" on the outside of the.
Get out.
I love what you've done to the place. Very natural, very rustic.
Right. So he's like, "Yeah, I'll show you around. Come check this out." And
Where's the kitchen? I just need the kitchen.
the lower left-hand corner is basically where all the food is prepared.
I make a beeline for the corner.
All right, Haruka, you pass by the other hunters, and they're like, "Hey, what's going on? You're a big fella, aren't you?"
Yep. Praying.
Okay, well, guess that just goes to show you. Can't trust any outsiders. Should have gone back to Freechurch.
Let's begin. And I'm just gonna look around, see what kind of ingredients are there, and figure out what I can make.
It's mostly dead varmints. There's a couple raccoons, a couple squirrels. There's actually some of the larger things are game hen. So yeah, they just need to be plucked clean, skinned, and prepared.
Great.
If you want to make yourself busy with that.
All right, Grandma, there's time to get to work. I'm just going to busy myself making an amazing meal.
As you begin preparing food, smoky, sort of ghostly, swirling figures sort of wrap your arms and forearms. And the three hunters look at you nervously as you prepare this meal.
What? It's just my grandmother's.
What did she just say? She got her grandmother's in here. That ain't right. It ain't right, I tell you. I ain't how we deal with things in Freechurch. All right, so Ted is showing anyone Traut and Valkos around, and he brings you to a standing taxidermied bear, and he's like, this guy here, he weighed over 800 pounds when I took him down. One shot.
That's a big one.
Clean
That's a
through
big
the
one.
heart. Right through the heart.
Clean kill.
Yeah, he was mating when I did it, too.
That's dirty kill.
Yeah, well,
Very dirty.
we takes it where we can get it. I almost got the mate. I managed to get her through the foot. She fell off a cliff and died of asphyxiation after falling into a river, but we couldn't manage to salvage that one.
It's a shame.
Not much of the strongest of religious people, but that would seem cruel and unusual, don't you think?
Yeah, well, that's what happens. You enter a hunter's territory, you're going to get hunted.
Well, if you gotta go, that's when you want to go, really.
Now, this guy over here, well, that one, well, there's only probably one of those left in the world, but I got mine, and that's what's important. See, this here's it's called a dune lion. They live in the desert, but they act and look just like a lion that lives out on the tundra. So, had to go out and get myself one of those. I mean, last time I checked, nobody could find him. Well, I found one. I took him home with me. That's one of my prized kills right there. Now, Triff, what are you doing right now?
I'm letting the horse graze. I'm checking in on my boxes and making sure that everything is secure.
Okay. Yeah, your cart looks nominal. Everything's good. Probably about 10 minutes have passed now. So you're just going to stay out there with your horses?
And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to walk around to the back and check out the dogs.
Okay, you're going to check out the dogs. The two wolves... oops, I stretched you out a little bit. The two wolves are back in the backyard, chained with very short leashes. There is a bowl with water near them, but the water looks dirty and brackish. The wolves are, while strong, a little too lean. Their ribs are showing. And they seem to be laying forlornly more than sleepily. They're just sort of like exhausted and tired. As you examine them, roll perception for me again. 18? 19. All right. So, Triff, you see there is a particularly beautiful tree directly to your south, and you can see me, I'm pinging it right now. It is something you recognize from your homelands. This particular sort of enchantment, it is indicative of the presence of the Fae. There is someone here with you, and it's inhabiting that tree. So you notice that, and you can do whatever you want with it.
I'm going to send my dragon companion over to perch in the tree and to communicate with it.
You send your pseudo-dragon, Annie. Annie flies over and lands on that tree and begins to nuzzle it. Annie seems very happy to be there. Through Annie's eyes and ears and such, let's just put that on there. You feel a sense of contentment and of familiarity, actually. Whatever's going on with this tree may be caused by someone that you've had personal experiences with in the past and someone with whom Annie is familiar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Annie flies back and you get a telepathic message that this is friend.
All right.
So yeah, back into the house. Ted is still showing you around, and he shows you his next trophy. It is the head of a small dragon. Whoa!
I don't think we should show our friend this one.
He's like, I showed this one to everybody. This was one of my younger days right here. Man, And I guess technically everyone tries to diminish my victory and call it a Drake, but I mean, in my eyes, I was 17 years old. That's called fighting a dragon, kicking its ass. Hell yeah, come on! And he raises his hand for a high five.
I give him a high five. I mean, that's no small feat. This is a lovely home of death.
Well,
Very impressive. Very impressive.
This is more of a shrine to the hunters of the world, you know?
Oh, yes.
That's why I welcome everybody here. I always appreciate someone who has an affinity with a bow or a tracking skill. And, you know, it's just it's good to pick up tips and tricks from the more experienced fellers that wander into my famed woods for its well-stocked game. Now, Haruka, you're over there doing your thing. What are you preparing?
You said there was a game hen, right?
Game hen and squirrels and raccoons.
Gonna focus on the game hen.
Okay.
I bust out my alchemical jug and produce some wine and produce some vinegar. And
You can do one.
I'll do wine.
Okay.
Gonna make coq au vin.
Okay, make a
Fancy.
coq au vin. All right, roll a. Just roll a d20. Let's see what you get.
15.
15. Yeah, it smells real good.
Yeah.
And the three gentlemen sitting at the table behind you are muttering in a slightly different way now, where they're like, "God damn, it smells pretty good. What you think she's making over there? I don't know, it smells. Hey, what's that called? What are you making?
It's called coq au vin.
Coq au vin? That chocolate?
No.
I made here chocolate before. I never had it before, but looks like you're trying to make a turkey.
It's a game hen, dummy.
Oh, well, I mean, it's a bird. I killed it, so I
Bird
think I'd
doesn't
know.
go with chocolate.
All right, well, I mean, you got enough for everybody, or what?
Let's see. I'll make enough for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah, come on! And they raise their glasses and they pour from a larger container, and they're like, "Here, I'll tell you what, drink up. This stud's for you." And they hand you a jar or a decanter of mead.
I chug it.
All right, it tastes like pure piss. Like, it is bad.
Like actual stuff.
Yeah,
Can I swear on your channel?
of course.
What the fuck is that? How dare you serve me such swill?
And he's like, "No, that's the best stuff around.
Throw it
You get
inside.
into Freechurch, that shit's cheaper than water, and it tastes better too. Once you get used to it. We start early though. I mean, I started drinking this stuff right out the womb,
Yeah, sure.
as we all did. All right, so as you're having that exchange, Ted looks back at Valkos, and he's like, "Yeah, well, and I mean, the proof's in the pudding. I'm trying to make a name for myself as the greatest hunter alive, and that's why, we stock up on this over here." And he brings you to a rack of weapons in the center of the room, and it's just dozens of crossbows, short and long bows, spears, anything that can be thrown or shot. Even really well-adorned slings. He's just got a ton of ammunition and weaponry.
I nod and go, very, very impressive. I too am a hunter myself, but I hunt a different type of, hike up my pants again, prey.
Oh, what do you mean?
Oh, the fairer type.
Fair? Like doves and stuff? Like white rabbits?
Oh, I don't know. I
fair
do
skin?
call them my doves sometime.
You just call them doves?
They have a tendency to cry.
With pleasure.
Oh, I see what's going on. You're a booty hunter. All right.
Negotiator of Amore.
Okay.
We thought he was a pimp when we first met him.
For a second.
Negotiator of Amore.
Okay, I thought you were talking about something a little more off the charted path. We also do sort of rare and prohibited game here. And he
I
points over.
too hunt rare and prohibited games. Trout, remember that princess you were talking about earlier? Yeah.
Traut recalls the Duchess de la Peep, renowned for her sexual exploits.
Oh, you also got a peep at the peep, huh? Mm-hmm. You might want to get cleaned. Go check out a cleric. I mean,
Do know what my occupation is.
Yeah, Valkos, you do recall that you ended up with a strange form of lycanthropy after having an engagement with the Duchess de la Peep, and you had to cure yourself of it with a...
Nothing a good cleansing or two wouldn't cure.
Yeah. So that happened, and Ted looks at you and he's like, "You want to see something real cool?" And he takes you over to a corner of the room, Traut and Valkos. And there is a standing, it looks like almost like someone dressed as a ghost, but it's another trophy that's covered in a tarp. He pulls the tarp off to reveal a taxidermied Aarakocra. For everyone who's not, I'll describe an Aarakocra.
Thank you.
An Aarakocra is basically a human with a bird's head and bird's wings.
Oh, kitty.
Oh.
Yeah. It's an eagle person.
Oh. Oh.
And he says, "Now, you get out into the sophisticated world, they don't like you hunting this kind of stuff.
This generally is not game. This is true.
But I'll tell you what, he made for a good chase. And we got him. We got him down."
I'm going to nudge Trout and whisper to him just so he could hear. We're going to take watch shifts tonight, right?
Yeah, no shit.
He walks you to another covered figure. This one is a turtle. A humanoid figure with human arms and legs, but a turtle's head.
Similar to the one that the displacer beast was eating?
It looks like a larger version of the creature that you saw being dragged away by the displacer beast.
This looks like a larger version of the creature that was being dragged by the displacer beast we saw earlier.
Oh, you saw a little one, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this one good. He had a little one, but I always throw them back. So he's probably scurrying around somewhere. If that displacer got him, then...
I'm going to nudge Trout again. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
I don't think anyone's sleeping today. Oh, this is fantastic. Guys, you don't see a hole anywhere.
You know what? I think time to eat?
Yeah.
Probably,
How's that dinner coming?
Wait, I just got one more for you. And he pulls a tarp off one more. And it is what's called a GIF. This is a stout humanoid figure in full safari gear, pants, vest, shirt, even that little hat that you see in safari movies. And it's holding a musket, but it's been taxidermied in like a hunter's pose. And he's like, "You can't find these anywhere."
I'm going to pull a full Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap and go, "Oh boy."
So, Ted, one fantastic taxidermy here. I'm sure this was a hell of a job. How exactly did you capture this one?
Well,
Was this a friend?
see, that's the secret, is everybody's welcome here. But it's always open season.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, shut up. Don't worry about it. You're not hunters. I could see it from the minute you're just sneaking through here. If you were real hunters, you'd be armed for it and you'd have your bows drawn before I even showed myself. I've been watching you. Y'all wouldn't even make a fight for my niece. And he's like, come on, let's get some dinner.
Yep.
Times like this, I'm glad I'm a lover, not a fighter.
You know, during my times at the monastery, there was this book called The Greatest Hunt.
Oh well,
The greatest game.
I try not to hunt anything but the most dangerous game. So that's just my personal challenge to myself. I try to challenge myself in many different ways. I got a little calendar. It's got a word on it different every day, and I learn.
So how about that dinner, guys?
Sure. Yeah. It looks like your friend's whipping something up. I can smell it over here, boy. I tell you what.
Get
All
some
right.
grub.
So Haruka, it's your time to shine. Now, you rolled a 15 on that prep. Give me one more preparation roll just to see if everything went according to plan.
It did not.
How?
That was a 1.
We're all dead.
All right. Unfortunately, the burners on Ted's stove are an alchemical fire, and you're used to working with a more natural style fire.
I kicked the stove because
It
I'm
got
mad at it.
way too hot.
Damn it.
Now, you are an expert. So let's try another. Let's give that advantage.
Wait. Are we near her right now?
Yeah, you guys are all in the kitchen.
Okay, I'm gonna put my hand on her shoulder, pat her. No, don't worry. It's all gonna be fine, and I'm gonna cast guidance.
All right, you're guiding Haruka on her advantage roll as she saves this game hen from the fire.
Natural
You
one.
actually before roll a 1d4, and you could add the number to one ability roll of
Ooh, I
your
rolled a
thing.
4.
All right, cool. Plus
So
4.
you get plus 4.
Can I roll now?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's see what happens. So that's a 10.
All right, 14. Yeah. So you pull it
it's a
out.
Total of 10.
10,
Oh,
but
total
you
of
get
10?
plus 4 too.
No, 6 plus 4.
It's 6 plus
Oh,
4.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you pull it out, and it's all right. It's not your best, but
Put more spices on it.
yeah, even as it not being your best, it's still an exceptional meal by anyone's standard.
Damn right it
These hunters have been eating smoked everything, smoked,
bird people.
salted. Yeah. So they're like, well, that looks mighty fine. Thank you. What's your name, darling?
Fine. I'm Haruka.
Well, thanks, Harky. And listen, yeah, I mean, well,
I plop a plate down in front of them and I say, eat.
all right, and they begin
All
to
of it.
eat, and everyone around the table is served some hen. It's slightly singed, but it kind of gives it a certain umami.
It's kind of like this place called Cajun I went to. And
It's
studied there.
blackened then,
Yes,
right? It's
yes,
blackened.
Yes. Lots of spices.
Are we just going to pretend this was not overcooked?
It's fine.
Okay.
I read this one really good cookbook called To Serve Man, and you should read it sometime.
To
Anyway,
serve. You guys notice that Triff is not not enjoying this
Triff!
meal with you.
Triff, get your ass in here and eat dinner.
Now, about 10 minutes earlier, Triff, you were faced with the decision of what to do with this kind of beautiful tree.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go over to the tree and I'm gonna send my dragon over into the window, and the dragon's gonna watch all of the things that are going on the inside and learn that these humans, these hunters, are tricksters.
Yeah, the dragon, you feel its fear as Ted shows the other adventurers the dragon head mounted on the wall. It sees that this man is thirsty for the blood of exotic animals, and this dragon knows its place in the pecking order there. But you get to the tree, and as you do, a face emerges from the tree, and the form of a beautiful woman sort of slides out of the bark. And as she does, the tree becomes a normal-looking tree again. And she comes out, and she holds her hand out to you, and she says, Triff, so good to see you. You recognize her as a dryad of the Fae. She is a serving maid of the Princess Titania. And she says, what do you do dwelling in this evil place?
I'm trying to get through, and I'm trying to cause a little mischief along the way. And it seems to be that this might be a nice place to do it.
She smiles at you and says, I could not agree more. And she looks over to the wolves standing, who are laying next to the house, and she motions with her hand. Let Let me just make sure I'm going to roll the right thing here. What was that? Okay, has to be this. It's that. Yeah. The wolves look up. One of them begins to growl, and the other one begins to sort of do like that doggy smile, where it's like, oh, Mom's home.
Yeah.
And it's very happy to see her. So she looks to you and she says, draw them out for me, and we will see if this hunter lives up to the name that he claims. So yeah, you've now spoken to your dryad friend. Is there anything you want to ask her or do now that you have the knowledge of her being there?
I was thinking I would use my dragon to singe off the chains or the ropes that the wolves were
Your
tied
dragon,
with. Or can he singe?
you know that your dragon
My little guy.
does not do that. He's
No.
too small.
He's too small. Okay.
He has a stinger is his main form of defense, and he's a little sharp teeth.
Okay.
But he's not a fire-breathing dragon.
Could he chew through the ropes?
He could. Yeah.
I'm going to chew through the friendly wolf's rope, but long enough to keep a leash.
Okay, so your friendly little dragon chews through the thick rope. It's going to take a couple of minutes while that's happening, and the wolf seems to be revitalized, and it gets up and sits patiently and waits for its rope to be chewed through. However, the other wolf begins to strain at its bonds, and it's snapping at your dragon, although it doesn't have enough space to actually get over there, but it's now causing sort of this noise, and you can hear it snarling and barking at your little dragon.
I'm going to cast my enchantment on my large cart and make a roar to distract everyone from the noise.
All right, so let's see if Wolfie gets afraid. Yeah, the wolf backs off a little bit, but its tail is between its legs, but it's still snarling and barking. The dryad waves her hand again, and the other wolf becomes very calm and begins to look at the dryad happily. So now both of the wolves are very happy to see her. So yeah, you've now freed one wolf, and the other one seems to be pretty stoked to be here.
Okay.
So if you want to break his bonds too, it seems like a pretty safe bet that he'll be okay.
I'd like to do that.
Cool. All right, so two wolves are now free, and they run up to the dryad, and they sit beside her calmly. Or they sit beside the tree, and she fuses back into the tree. And the tree becomes beautiful once more, and you hear a whispering that says, draw them out for me.
Okay.
Can I roll a perception for the
Yeah,
dragon
go
roll?
ahead and hit me with some perception.
All of us, or
Yeah, I mean, if you want
18?
Yours is pretty high anyways. You do hear it,
Okay.
Valkos. And so do you, Traut. As a matter of fact, the passive perception on these other guys isn't bad.
Damn it.
Yeah, let's say Ted himself is like, well, goddamn, what are those dogs getting up to? And he begins to walk towards the back door of the house.
I'm gonna at this point gonna try to pull out my what do you call it? My vina,
Okay.
which is it's like a Indian guitar meets lute,
Okay.
and cast. Where is it? Thaumaturgy, yeah.
Right.
To kind
Cast
of
thermist.
Yeah. To kind of increase the sound of me playing a little bit.
All right, cool. And he's like, oh, man, you trying to calm those dogs down?
Oh yeah, just a little music.
They do like a
during
little
dinner.
ditty. Oh, here we go. We're going to hear something now. All right, Traut, what do you got?
Question. What are these guys wearing?
Each of them wears a dagger. They're all wearing leather armor. Each of them has at least a hand crossbow on his person, kind of slung from his belt. So they are armed, but they don't seem to be alarmed. They're not heavily armored. They're made for moving silently and being disguised in the woods.
Cool. I'm going to make my way towards the back door. Like, oh gosh, it might be Triff again. Time for you to eat. Let me go check on it really quick.
Oh yeah.
Make sure. Hey, what's the barbarian's name? Hey,
Haruka.
Haruka. I remember that book, the most dangerous game. You ever read that one? You should talk about. No, you should really read that one. Anyway, I'm gonna go check on Triff. And hey, talk to
Hurry up, dinner's ready.
Yep. Okay. So I'm gonna go outside and figure out what the hell's going on.
Yeah, so you open the door and you can see that the two wolves are sitting very calmly by a tree, and that Triff is standing there. She is turned back towards the house, and she's sort of looking her dragon. Her dragon is perched on her shoulder, and she's looking at it as if having some sort of unspoken conversation.
Hey, Triff. Hey, Triff, what's going on? You keeping the dragon on the leash and fucking with the dogs?
Did you see the dragon on the wall?
Yes. And I also saw the bird person and the turtle person. And have you read this book called The Most Dangerous Game?
And everybody else seems to be okay with that?
Okay is not the right word. Trapped is for the right word. But hey, well, this is what we're gonna do, okay? We're just gonna be cool. We gonna be cool.
I have a better idea. I don't like to be cool.
We are noticing every minute of every day. What's the plan?
So, I was thinking, is the stove still on?
I look back. I mean, it can be.
Is the stove still on?
The stove has been turned off, but it's as easy to turn on as any other stove.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and gather Haruka and
Valkos.
And let them know about what's going on. And I'll make a distraction outside. You guys go ahead and head out, but leave the stove on.
Nothing you said made me feel good, but I know I have no power to stop you. So, you stay creepy. So Traut just turns back inside. Oh, it looks like there was a squirrel or something. Hey, Haruka and the pimp named Slipback. There's
Valkos.
Valkos named Slipback. Hey, there's a small issue down by the dragon that we need to take care of. I need you guys' help with
Dragon?
But it's dinner time.
Like a real dragon?
No. This is more of like a
Stuffed dragons. Those stuffed dragons. We're merchants.
We got 8 of us. We could take down a dragon.
Stuffed dragons. They're stuffed with lamb's wool.
You
lamb's
will not
wool.
take our kill, sir.
What are you talking about? Stuffed animals?
Yeah, stuffed animals. Toys. We're merchants. We have some.
While all this talking is going on, I go over to the oven, just turn it on slowly.
But, we need to check on the merchandise, make sure nothing's damaged, because these children toys these days very fragile, very
You're
fragile.
trying to get into Freechurch to sell them toys.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's
They're
trying
all
to
the
do.
rage. Have you heard of last season's toys? They're called Furbies. People just love them.
I hunted a Furby, and now I'll tell you what, you can hunt them down.
Oh, you know what?
Goody.
That is a fantastic question, but really, there's an emergency.
We have to check.
We'll be right back.
Hey, and I
you
need some
stay
air.
right
I need
there.
some air.
But it's
right
probably
now.
No, it's okay.
You know what? Say enjoy. Start without us. Enjoy the.
I push Haruka out the door.
I'm following.
Every bite. As he's literally dragging me away from a meal. I'm so mad.
I'm trying to calm everybody down.
As you're getting dragged away, you hear one of the hunters say, like, isn't that one that just cooked us dinner, Furby? And the furball. So yeah, you get dragged away.
It's mealtime.
All three of you are now
Mealtime is sacred.
out in the backyard with Triff.
If you saw what we saw in that house, you want to be outside as well.
So, lady, gentlemen, meet Triff. You know how when Triff gets that thing in her eye where she's about to do something bad?
That thing.
Stay out of the house for a second. So, Triff, plans?
So I would like to. Can I use any sort of enchantment
See what you got.
to
You've
make a
got-
spark?
You wanna manipulate fire in some
Yeah.
way. Yeah, check that spell sheet for me, Lamar.
Wait, I don't get it. What's the problem?
Most of
very nice.
Triff's spells, most of your spells,
They
if not all of your spells,
people.
are dedicated to screwing with people's minds. You don't have a lot of pyromancy. However, I'm trying to think of someone who might in this party.
I mean, the closest I have maybe is Sacred Flame.
No, that's radiant.
Okay.
While that happens, let me just make sure I got the right thing. Fear?
And I could charm people
Let me see.
or cause them to uncontrollably laugh.
That is a very useful one.
Now, Traut, when you turned the stove on, did you just turn like?
The magic gas on?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how that stove would work. It's a wood stove, so like you actually would have had to like light a fire. It was an
Yeah.
alchemical process, so it was actually fairly quick. But you've just lit the stove in there, and it's just kind of burning. But in order to spread the flame, you'll either need to use some sort of like pour gasoline on it essentially, or you'll need to tip the entire stove over. And even then, it won't burn very fast.
You'd have to get inside again.
Yeah.
We'd have to get back inside. Okay.
You could light the
Eldritch
house.
Blast?
You could light the house from the outside if any of you have a tinderbox. I mean, it'll be like
Yeah,
putting a
but
match against the
I would
house.
say I have an explorer's box.
What are you doing,
I mean,
with, my,
explorer's
what are you
pack.
doing with my tinderbox? Hey, get your hands off that. why are you taking my jug? I need there's wine in there. What? I was cooking with that.
Is there a
Trout.
window?
This is it.
Is there a window
Give me
from
wine back.
the?
Yes.
Stove?
And as you look to it,
I'll be like,
you see the face of Ted peering out at his two wolves who are now freed and sitting by a tree with the four of you.
Sweet. I quickly light the tinderbox, punch the window, and drop it near to the and throw it near to the stove.
As you advanced towards the window, you saw Ted turn and run back into the house, and you hear him yell, "All right,
What are you doing?
looks like we're on, boys!" And everyone needs to roll initiative.
God damn
You
it.
should have thrown the wine first. Don't you understand how chemicals work?
20. Dirty 20.
All right, hold on.
Oh, I rolled 2 4s in a row.
21.
What did you roll?
17? Oh, no.
That is initiative. You're correct. My bad.
Okay, Triff, what'd you get?
18.
18. Let me see what these guys got. Cool.
Jesus.
Trout,
I got a 20.
20.
Why? Why did they get a 22? That's not fair.
You said Triff got an 18.
Yes.
Okay, Valkos,
21.
21. All right. I'm gonna drop him out of there. And he's not here. Let me check on a couple other things real fast. Nope, that was wrong. All right, so you guys hear that noise? That little whip, whip,
Yeah.
whip.
Yep.
That's the sound of your doom. No, it's not. It's fine.
Did you need my initiative?
Yes, let me
It was.
find you.
It was a 2.
No, it was a 6.
Six ain't so bad.
Same place.
All right, so looks like first up Ted goes and grabs a crossbow from the rack, and he runs to the door, and he's like, I'm gonna tell you right now what happened last time somebody tried to steal my dog.
You're stealing his dog? Why? Can't eat those.
Technically.
And he's going to draw his bow, and he's going to fire at Traut.
Bring it on.
That is not a hit.
Probably not.
And then he's going to fire at Traut again. And that is also not a hit.
Question, what did he roll?
He rolled a 12 and a 14 to hit.
I'm trying to figure out how this deflect missiles work. Never mind.
Can't do it? It has to hit you, right?
It has to hit me.
Okay. So, all right, Traut, yeah, you 2 arrows soar past you. No, they're not going to hit that guy. I'm going to roll a D100 and see if maybe Triff caught a little bit of that crossfire. No, Triff's fine. Cool. So, Ted, he's mad. He did his thing. Valkos, your friend is under fire, and you are outside the house, despite the fact that there is now a small piece. It's basically a match burning on the ground inside the house. So that's what's going on there, and Ted is real pissed off at you.
Okay, so is all the hunters and everybody there in the house, but as a party, we're outside, right?
You are all outside.
Okay.
Yeah, you're basically all in the southern portion of the map, and they're all inside the house still.
I'm actually kind of curious. As a priest, would I have holy oil?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
You might have holy. You'd be more likely to have a holy water.
I was going to say holy oil, which doubles as massage oil.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I mean, yes, but it would be a 1 ounce bottle.
Oh, okay.
You
That's not
wouldn't
going to
have
do
like
much.
jug hanging off.
Okay, okay.
You could catch Ted on fire with it.
If anything, I'm going to...
The Ted.
I'm like-
the Ted is on fire.
I'm going to cast hideous laughter on Ted.
Okay, that's a save. What kind of save?
Let's see, creature of choice, anything funny. It's not saying anything.
Is it just a spell attack?
Yeah, I think so.
That has to be a wisdom save.
It's
It
a
has to be a wisdom
save.
save against me, mine.
Okay, it's wisdom save. Yeah, he fails. All right, so Ted's laughing.
And he's also prone, incapacitated, unable to stand up for the duration.
All right, so Ted is now incapacitated and laughing. And he's like, oh, damn. Oh, they're trying to take my dog. Oh, what the fuck? I'm supposed to let her stay out. Oh, ain't nobody took my dog before. And he's just laughing his ass off.
I don't understand magic.
All right.
This is when you poke in with the pointy end of your blade.
Traut.
Why? What?
Trout, he missed you. Ted has missed you from the doorway, and he's now thinks it's hilarious.
Trout's going to do his best pimp walk for his 45 movement speed.
You got 45.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you can get up to him.
And I'm just going to calmly lean over him, punch him twice, and if one of them hits, punch him twice again.
Now, he's prone, so you get
he's
advantage
prone,
on
yeah.
Oh, great. So
Yeah.
let's see here. So I'm at least going to hit him. So the minimum is 17.
You hit.
The minimum 2017. So, okay, I didn't crit. So, 2d6 plus 4.
Let's get a little fight music in here.
So that's 3 plus 8. That's 11. Plus another.
Wait, I got the perfect fight music.
Oh yeah, give me some fight music. You got better fight music than I do. All right, what was the second roll? All right, you hit on the first one. What's the damage?
11. And then my Fury Blows, I did another 15 points of damage.
Okay, so you rolled for both of those hits, right?
Yep.
Okay, and both of them were over 20 or whatever?
Huh?
You rolled to hit both times.
Yes. So my attack, fury of blows.
Okay. Oh, the flurry of blows just adds additional damage? Or does that give you...
Use to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Right, so you do have to hit. You have to roll to hit on that second attack.
My minimum is 14. But I get advantage, so I'll roll again.
Roll it again.
That's a fumble. So...
All right, so you don't get the second hit off.
So, but he's going to take then at least...
So you said you rolled a 14. That doesn't get any modifiers?
That is the modifier.
Oh, the 14 is it gets plus 14 to hit?
No, I'm plus 7 to hit, so my minimum was at least a 14.
Oh, okay,
so both rolls, the
Got it.
least was 14.
All right.
So he's going to take, he took 11 definitely the first time.
Got it.
This time he's only taking 10.
Okay.
It's still not bad.
Not bad
I'm
at all.
a very strong monk.
2 punches from a guy?
Very
Yeah.
strong monk.
2 unarmed strikes. Why not take 23 damage? All right. So, so Traut, you did your thing. Triff. Now, Triff, your expertise is not necessarily combat, but you have a real good way of just fucking people's brains up. So you've got spells that can make people afraid and run away from the battle. You've got spells that can incapacitate people.
Like what I just did?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got spells that can make people do what you say, I think.
Not quite.
No charm spells?
Charm person, but they can't be fighting people.
Anything you can do with the dogs?
Dominate. Dominate beast. One beast saved or charm follows telepathic commands for one action, complete control. You can try to use this action.
Okay.
And you will take over.
Now, the Dryad already has control of the wolves. So dominating beasts is something you'd have to find a different beast to try to dominate. And as it stands, there's none that seem to really be against you. Of course, you've also got that Eldritch Blast.
Yeah. You know what? Let's get you some D&D fighting. Let's see how So it's an automatic hit because it's just a look. So you have to roll 2d10, which are these.
No, you have to do a spell attack. On her first page of her character sheet, there is attack rules for the.
Eldritch Blast?
Yeah, it should be like a +7 to hit.
Oh yeah, you'll hit this thing. Okay. So roll your d20.
Okay.
So, okay.
Oh, she hits it.
You can choose to either shoot at Ted prone in the doorway, or you can walk up to the window or get a line of sight through the window and shoot at the guys who are still inside gathering up their weapons.
Ted is the best target at this
Actually,
point.
Ted being prone gives you disadvantage because it's a ranged attack.
Oh.
So you have a better chance of hitting the people on the inside.
Also, I'm engaged with Ted, so.
Yeah, you might hit Traut.
Right. Well, I don't want to hit Trout, so I'll hit the guys on the inside. Or I'll try to.
So she rolled a 23.
What's the range on that?
The range is 120 feet.
Yeah, you're fine. So there's one guy who's got a real big crossbow, and roll 2 separate attacks because the Eldritch Blast is 2 beams. You can choose to hit the same guy twice or 2 separate guys.
One is probably going to miss, so it's 5 plus 7 because.
5 plus 7.
12.
Yes, 12 and 18 plus 7?
No, it's your first roll was already
the first one.
The first one was already a success. So we
the
rolled
first one was
again for
already
the
good.
second
The second
beam.
one was bad. Okay.
All right, there's 3 guys in there. 2 of them are sort of not as heavily armed, and one of them is as heavily armed as Ted. You can hit any one of those 3.
So I'll hit the heavily armed guy.
Okay, hitting the heavily armed guy, going for the big bad. All right, and what's the damage on that?
1d10.
1d10.
Roll a d10.
Okay.
Sorry, that's the term. When anyone says 1d10, it means roll it.
Okay.
So you have 5, and that's it.
5.
5 damage? All right, take what we can get, right? All right, so do you want to say anything, Triff, as you do this?
I'm going to take you out for my people.
Wow, for my people.
For the people!
All right.
Is she like the Rock? She did it for the people.
I did it for the people.
The people.
All right, the 2 wolves look and see that Traut is punching Ted in the face, and they just go, and they start sprinting towards that doorway because they want a piece of the action.
Do I know that they want a piece of the other action or my action?
Or Trout action.
I'll put. They come straight for the doorway. It looks like they're going to attack you, but as they do, the first one, as he gets there, he's going to roll acrobatics. He kind of bumps into you.
I shit my pants.
And he sort of tackles through you. Roll a dexterity check for me.
Oh, I'm a monk. I should be good at this.
They should have an advantage on that.
Oh, 24. Don't matter.
Okay.
24. All right, you nimbly dodge the first wolf, and as you dodge past, the second wolf jumps through the opening that you've created, and they land inside the house, and their hackles are up, and they're going to start chomping down on Ted momentarily. All this is happening, and
This place a beast. Come on.
Valkos, you look towards the woods, and you can see only a few feet away from you, a man with furry legs and horns emerges from the woods,
Hi.
holding a short sword. He looks at you, and he's like, "So,
I point at us or them.
and
Wait to us to in the cabin.
he looks down at his bow, and he looks at you, and then he looks at the house, and he smiles, and he points the short bow through the window and shoots at one of the less armed guys.
I'd be like,
And he's like, tight. He's a satyr, and he's a pretty cool dude, I'd like to say. All right,
I like to party with later.
He's like, I love to party, bro. And then as he's holding his short bow, he holds his elbow out to you, and you can kind of give him a little bit of daps. All right, cool.
Respect.
So, yeah, you hear a voice inside that. Ah, god damn, what the fuck you do? Well, I'm gonna get that son of a bitch. All right, that happens. Then nothing happens, kind of. The curtains on the house rustle a little bit. Then Haruka, you see all this violence is starting to break out, and this might be your chance to harvest that human meat you've been waiting for.
I do like violence almost as much as I like cooking.
Almost.
All right, you are currently 30 feet from the house. It'll probably take all your movement just to get either to the window. It'll take a double movement to get to the door.
I'm going to the door.
All right, so you're going to use your entire action to sprint towards the door. You're going to kind of get shoulder to shoulder with Trout. You can keep moving through. You're just going to have to try to kind of muscle through these wolves that are inside.
I'm going to just kick and muscle my way through those wolves.
Roll a strength check.
Okay. Maybe I think I have advantages on that stuff.
Oh, yeah, you got advantage on strength for sure, and you're going to need it.
I'm rolling so badly today. Okay, that was much better. Plus, that's a 27.
27. Okay.
Jesus.
There we go.
What are you?
What is that? 19.
Actually, let's have Trout roll as well, because you're probably going to have to move through him. Roll strength, Trout.
Strength?
Yeah.
Didn't you get out of the way of the wolves before?
Yeah, but that was Dex. This is a 16.
16. Trout, yeah, you get a shoulder check pretty hard. You're going to take 2 bludgeoning damage from Haruka.
Not sorry.
But she makes it through the door. She kind of steps over Ted, and yeah, she's standing over Ted's body. Now you still have, let's call it 5 feet of movement. You can choose to poise yourself to hit Ted, or you can start advancing on the other guys in the house.
I start advancing on the other guys in the house.
Cool.
Looking real mad, and I go, we're supposed to have dinner! And I rage!
You rage.
Yes!
As you do, the spirit of Gam Gam and Gima swirl around you, and they have spatulas
The righteous fury of
and other cooking utensils in hand. Okay, next up Is Ted? No, Ted doesn't get to go
I think
again.
it's
That son of a
me,
bitch.
right?
Wait.
Unless it's the other hunters.
Oh, you rolled a 20. You should have gone first.
Yeah.
No. There's other stuff happening
Okay.
here. Let me make sure I got. Yeah. All right. So Ted's getting.
Because there's a new round, and I would go first, I think.
There's so many bad guys in this encounter.
It is not a new round yet, though.
Never mind.
Haruka just went. Okay. With your perception, another figure emerges from the woods behind you. It is one of the hippo people, the GIF, whose taxidermied forms you're familiar with from inside the house. It holds a musket.
Once again, I point at us and then the cabin.
It looks to you and says, "My good sir, I wouldn't dream of engaging in fisticuffs with a civilized gentleman like yourself. I am on the hunt for vermin." And it points its musket at the house, and he takes a shot at
And
one
then
of
I
those.
just go,
Will Smith.
Yeah, it also hits that little bastard inside.
you too, I would like to party with later.
And he's like, "Well, I suppose there might be sufficient wine and cheeses around this place, but you, sir, have proven yourself a gentleman, and I am pleased to make your acquaintance." Just then, a tiny little turtle guy emerges, and he holds onto the shirt tails of the hippo man that just emerged, and he says, "Get him!" And the hippo man just looks down and nods, and he's like, "We'll get them, son, for you and for all of us." And finally, a larger turtle also emerges, and he looks to you, Triff, and he says,
"A woman after my own heart. I can finish what you started."
and he throws a fireball into the house.
Whoa!
It's not a proper fireball.
Okay.
He throws.
Haruka's still now.
He throws a fireball in the house.
It's a mediocre fireball.
It is. Let me.
It's a ball fire.
Let me put it this way. He produces flame and chooses to throw it into the house. He gets it on the kitchen table, and it lights a few of the napkins or the cloths
That's where the meal
on
was.
the table, and he says,
Let's finish this.
all right, so finally, I gotta roll for this guy. Yeah, all the guys inside the house are ready to rock and roll. And the two guys run to the window. One of them quickly just kicks the table over, and the watery stud light extinguishes the flame that the larger turtle did. He takes a shot through the window at the satyr, and he says, "That hurt, you little bastard!" And he takes a shot, and he hits him, and the satyr's like, "Ow, come on, man." I'm sorry, the satyr's like, that's not tight, bro.
You mixing your country.
Yeah. I like everyone's got a southern
Country
accent.
and
They're all
rock
from
and roll.
Freechurch. He takes one more shot. This time it's at the turtle who cast the flame, and it misses. He immediately moves to the side of the window, taking cover, so that he can no longer be shot at by the means that you were using before. What is this? Did I move Triff up by accident? I think I'm. Oh no, that's the other guy. Okay, and then the other guy does basically the same thing, and he also takes cover, but he's going to shoot at Valkos, and he misses. Then he's going to shoot at Triff, and he hits Triff for 4. So Triff, you just lost 4 hit points.
That's your max, so it's that minus 4.
Yeah, so you're still feeling all right, but you've got a little arrow in you. So he steps to the other side of the window, and he can't be hit. The other large man, who's armored and armed just like Ted is gonna take a shot at Haruka as he sees her raging towards him, and he's trying to hit you as good as he can, and man, it just doesn't work out for him. And he takes another shot. This time, he hits, but since you're raging, you only take half damage.
Cool.
So that's 13 halved, rounded down is 6 damage.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
hey kids, you want to play a monk? You want to take half damage? Be a barbarian.
Hey, barbarian monk.
All right, so Ted gets to make a saving throw, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that's wisdom against.
See, my spell save DC, which is 14.
Yeah, so Ted stops laughing.
Wait.
but-
Oh, I'm gonna say, just in case, I'm gonna use my luck to force him.
Force him to have disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. I think I just spend the luck point, really. Right?
Okay, sure.
So he has disadvantage.
That was a good spend because he did not save once that luck got used on him. Now, what ability was luck? Where did that come from?
That's from my feat that I took instead of taking the stat increase.
Awesome. It's always nice to be able to use that feat.
Oh yeah, lucky.
Okay, so Ted keeps laughing. He stops for a second and he's like, "What the fuck?" And then he's like, "Oh no, that's hilarious! Oh, fucking wolves are attacking me! Come on now!" yeah, good. All right, so he's somehow pleasantly surprised at the fact that his own wolves are destroying him. Valkos, now it's your turn.
Is Traut and Haruka?
Traut is outside the door. Haruka has gone inside the house. You
I was
can
gonna say, are they within my range of my bless spell?
What's that? 60 foot?
30.
If you move closer to Traut, he will be. Haruka is not within eye line.
Okay.
So, is that an area of effect?
It just says range, 30 feet.
Okay, but you have to pick a target?
I get a bless up to 3 creatures within my range.
Yeah, I mean, you're standing within a lot of people who look like allies right
Yeah.
now. So you could bless any of them, or you could step about 20 feet closer
Okay,
to Traut.
I'm gonna kind of take split the difference, kind of like in the middle.
Sure.
So I'll be within range of Traut and the other guys.
All right, let me show you. 30 feet.
Yeah.
Are the white lines or the-
Also, really quick, bonus as a bonus action. Do I have to take that before or after? Scott, in 5th edition.
Bonus actions can be used any time. You can use them in
Okay.
any order. All right, so you've got Traut, and you've got the Turtle Druid and Triff all within your range.
Okay, I'm gonna say, you know what? I may be sometimes you can't always be a lover. Sometimes you gotta be a fighter. And thank God I got an audience, cause I'm gonna cast Bless on Traut and
Bless. Hashtag bless.
Hashtag bless. Hashtag bless.
Yes.
And, which of the my allies are within my bless range again?
It's Traut, Triff, and either the Turtle Druid or Triff's mini dragon.
Okay, Traut, Triff, and was it one of the other guys?
The Turtle.
The turtle.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Bless.
Hashtag bless.
Hashtag Bless. Let's see. Roll a D4. Let's see. Where's my D4? Oh, wait.
So bless gives me a D4 to what?
I think it augments your next attack.
Basically, whenever a target makes an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a D4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll or saving throw. So you guys get a D4 bonus.
Yeah, whenever you roll to hit or to save,
Yeah.
you can roll a D4 and add it.
And also, in the same time, I'm also going to use my bonus action for Bardic Inspiration.
Bardic Inspiration.
So
That's 2 bonus actions, unless bless is.
no, that's my
Bardic Inspiration is a bonus. Oh, Bless was a main action.
yeah, that's my main action.
okay.
Yeah, which is a song we'll be singing if it loads up.
Well, you did need money for this. This will get flagged on
Oh,
Twitch.
Twitch is gonna flag this
Yeah.
immediately. I was like,
Fine. They'll just cut out that part.
Yeah.
All right. So, who are you inspiring?
I'm inspiring Traut. Hey, Traut, remember, Power of love.
Trout,
Power of love.
you have inspiration that grants you a D8 to a roll, I believe, right?
Jesus.
It is. You get a D6.
D6 to add to whatever roll you
Yeah.
want. All right, cool. Are you going to move? Well, you're already in
Yeah,
position.
I'm in that position, so I'm gonna just stay there and just basically rock out.
All right, Trout, you are up. You're standing right next to the incapacitated form of Ted. He's
With a
laughing his
shitload
ass
of
off.
bonuses.
He's on the ground. You have advantage to begin with.
And a D4 and a D6.
And a D4 and a D6 to add to
You
whatever
know
roll
what?
you want.
Even though I'm so blessed and I'm so inspired, I'm still so angry we're in this situation at all, and I use rage.
Going into a rage.
So
That's your bonus action, right?
that is my bonus, so I can't use
Or is rage just a... I think it's a bonus action.
rage as a bonus action.
Okay, you got rage going.
Next time I'll kick the shit
It's
out.
called a raging bonus.
You know what? You know what? That is a bonus action. I'm not going to do that. We'll use Fury Blows.
Okay.
Hashtag
Far
raging
better.
bonus.
Anyway, I'm going to roll just to hit plus a D4 for some. Jesus. Okay. Hold
I think you can roll it and then decide if you want to use the D4.
Yeah.
on. Okay.
So if you get mediocre roll,
So
and keep in mind you got advantage.
yeah. So my minimum is going to be 16 no matter what.
All right. Do you want to use any of your bonuses?
Oh,
I can't say if you hit or not. I can only say.
it's fine. I'll re-roll.
Yeah, because you do have to actually roll
All right.
twice.
Yeah. Roll again.
So it's going to be 17, and then the other one's like with the.
Do you feel good about your 17, or do you want?
Oh, I feel pretty good
bless-
about my.
Okay.
Well,
say
bless. I forgot to do the bless.
Oh, because you can just do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Roll it anyways. Why not?
21. So
21 is a hit.
yeah, I'm going to hit the shit out of them.
Okay.
And then let me just do Fury Blows really quick.
Okay. We'll roll for the first hit.
I was going to roll them both, and then also Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, so a D6.
Oh, no, plus bless.
Yeah.
Well, the D6 can only be used to augment the 2-hit attack, not
Yeah.
the damage.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
I'm rolling both. So I did unarmed, unarmed. Now I'm going my Fury of Blows, and then I'll just do all the damage at the same time.
Okay. Roll to hit for the flurry of blows.
Yes. Plus the 2d6. There's no way I missed this. Okay, so I'm just going to re-roll this one. It's going to be at least a 15. I hit it. I didn't crit, but I definitely hit it. So,
All right. So it's over 17, which hit before.
yep.
Okay. So you hit twice. One with the unarmed strike, one with the flurry of blows.
No, sir. I have 2 actions per round. 2 unarmed strikes, and then Fury Blows.
Okay. So you've hit 2 unarmed strikes so far.
Yes.
Roll for 2.
Nope. Unarmed strike. That's a single action each.
Okay.
And then Fury Blows gives me 2 extra. So it's 4 total attacks.
All right. Roll 2
D&D
more attacks.
math.
Because you still have to roll for flurry blows to hit, correct?
Yeah, I thought that's what I did.
Anime style.
But
All right. So you've got a 17, something over a 17, and
Yeah.
then you've got 2 more flurry of blows.
so
to
I'm going to roll them both at the same time.
Okay.
Let's get over it.
While there's like a pyros and
I
concert
hit it.
going on right now.
I'm just going to roll and see if I crit something.
Okay.
I don't, but I definitely hit it.
All right. So you've hit 4 times. Roll 4 hits worth of damage.
6.
And we were established that those are each about 10 damage apiece.
So it is 6.
I've played with a
10,
monk before.
12 plus 16. So 12 plus 16 is 28 points of damage.
28 damage. Okay, that's all 4 hits.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you punch Ted in the nuts real bad. He no likey. Triff.
How is he still alive?
He's a big boy. Ted's an experienced hunter. He's
also-
taken a few hits in his life.
Tiff, don't forget you also have a bless bonus as well.
Triff. Okay, so you can do the same Eldritch Blast that you did before, but there's only really one guy that you can get a beat. Ooh. Was that my webcam?
I think that was your webcam.
Okay, we can still hear me. Just plug it into the whatever it is. It'll probably reconnect. All right, Triff. Do you want to fire at the guy inside the house?
I'll fire at the guy inside the house again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, roll a d20.
And also roll. You could, if you want, you could also roll a D4.
D4 to
because
that.
of bless, because you get and add that.
So what did you roll?
A 1.
You rolled a 1. All right, that's a critical fail.
I would say the bless bonus then. I would say the bless bonus.
Yeah, save it for a saving throw.
Yeah.
All right, you miss on your attack. Now you can move around a little bit, should you be so inclined.
Yeah.
If you want to get, because there's now 2 guys. You saw them come to the window, and they're now on either side of the window. So it's actually safer for you to get closer to the house or behind a tree or something, if you want to do something like that.
I'm closer to the tree, so I'll hide behind the tree and let you guys do the work.
Okay, you're going to move back behind the tree here. You can just barely see Triff. There she is.
Oh, if you can, don't get out of my range of spells.
Well, she can always move back in.
Yeah, okay. I was say I could heal people too, you know.
Okay, the 2 wolves are taking revenge on their neglectful master, and
I like them.
they both hit him, and they're ripping him apart. He is not doing well. So the wolves do that. The satyr, he moves up close to the house. Let me see how far he's got to move. Yeah, the satyr winks at you, Valkos, and he says, "Come on, buddy. Let's make this work. What do you say?"
Let's party.
Now, you only bless the 3 people, so he doesn't
Yes.
get the advantage.
No. Because I don't think he was in my range, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He was not. So he takes a shot and he misses. Unfortunately, that leaves him as a prime target for the 2 guys inside. Now, Triff, I skipped this last time, but it's actually your dragon's turn to move.
Oh, okay.
So he can fly around, and he can, she can. She can move around pretty quick. She flies 60 feet, so she could fly right through that window and get into the house. Of course, knowing your dragon, if she gets hit, it's maybe she's not gonna last too incredibly long up there. So, I mean, you can have her take cover, you can have her go in the house and start like biting people and stinging people, or you can have her kind of fly up on the roof and listen and look for you.
I think I'll have her kind of scout out on the roof and just kind of look and see what's going on and see if anybody else is coming to help us out.
Your dragon flies over the house, and the front door is ajar. So your dragon sort of peeks in and gives you a look at the inside of the house from the other side, and confirms to you that there is a heavily armed gentleman still standing by the weapons rack, and the 2 other less heavily armed guys covered near the window, ready to fire at you. Okay, Haruka, you are inside the house.
I'm so mad.
Your great-grandmothers are protecting you. And you have Ted being ripped apart by wolves beside you. You have 2 guys standing by the windows here. They're poised to shoot at your friends, and then you've got a heavily armed guy in the center of the house.
Oh, I'm going straight at that heavily armed guy.
Go for it. All right, you want to attack him?
Yes.
Okay, hit him.
With my great axe. Whew, that's a 25.
That's a hit. You produce a giant meat cleaver and swing it at him.
I do. Yeah. Ooh, that does 8 damage.
Okay, you hit.
And then I get a second attack because I'm raging. That is a 20.
Yeah, that's a hit.
And that does 10 damage.
10 damage. All right, yeah, you got a couple good hits on him.
Yeah, and then I go, bloop, and I take hidden step. So I get hidden step, so I go invisible at the end.
Oh, cool!
Bonus action.
You're invisible
Yeah.
until your next turn, or until
Yes.
you attack something.
Yes.
All right. The GIF, the hippopotamus man, says, "Onward!" and he puts his head down and charges through the house where the window is.
Was.
Yeah, now where it was, there's now a hippo man-sized hole in the side of the house. And as he passes through, he immediately turns and, oh yeah, and looks at the two less heavily armed guys.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna have them roll dex to see if they get knocked over. Yeah, one of them gets knocked over and is prone. So
Yay, prone.
he's down. He's down on the ground. Okay. There's a little turtle, and he's just. Oh my God.
It's fine.
He's just yelling and waving and saying, "Go get him! Go get him for me! They took my dad!" The druid, the turtle druid, also runs through the hole and begins beating on the man who got knocked over by the GIF. Let's do an attack. Yeah, so he hits for 6. And he bloodies that guy, and that guy does not feel good about it. All right, the heavily armed guy is now confused by the fact that Haruka has disappeared. He's gonna move away from her. Somebody roll a d20 for me.
Gotcha.
Nope.
Tell me what Haruka's attack looks like, Michael, if you can lean over.
Actually, I think Lemar rolled.
It's not good. It's a 6. What's their
6?
plus the hit? Even if it's an 8, it's only a 14.
All right, well, let's say she tries to take the opportunity attack on him and it doesn't make it. But he rolls to hit the GIF, and he does hit the GIF, but the GIF has a very strong skin, and he might only take half that damage. Nope. Okay.
It's just a flesh wound.
And then he's going to take another shot at the GIF. And that one misses. Cool. So the heavily armed guy is gone. The two smaller guys, one of them gets up and swings his sword at the GIF and misses. The other guy also pulls out a sword and tries to attack the turtle. And he misses as well. Next up, Ted is going to make his saving throw.
And I'm going to use my luck ability again to
Now,
give
the
him
luck is
disadvantage.
once again, it's once a day, right?
No, it's 3 times a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay, you're going to use luck again.
Yeah.
All right, Haruka, the guy you were fighting with, he tried to move away from you. Did you want to take the opportunity attack on him?
Yeah.
All right, you missed. We already rolled for you and you missed, but you're now uninvisible. So
That's okay.
Yeah,
I was
it
going to be
happens.
uninvisible by my next turn anyway.
All right, Ted fails his saving throw and still lies on the ground. Another
God.
thing happens. Ooh, what do we want to do with this guy? The man in the middle of the room turns into a deer.
Goddamn.
Let me say that a tiny dragon, much like Triff's, appears, but it seems to be much more impressive looking.
Still good eats.
Yeah, he turns into a deer, and this tiny dragon perches atop one of the kitchen cabinets and stares at him and just giggles to itself. So there's now a deer sort of looking around stupidly in the middle of the room.
Polymorphed.
Too bad your ass got polymorphed. Valkos, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to spin, strike a pose, and this, I'm going to be like, this is how we do it in the old country.
I like that.
I'm going to moonwalk forward 2 squares.
Okay, moonwalk typically done backwards, but
Okay,
that's fine.
well,
Doing it
I'm
forward.
out.
Shimming.
So I'm good. Can I go up one? I see 2.
You want to go up one more?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, and I am going to first use my bonus action
Okay, boner
to
action.
use Bardic Inspiration again.
Bardic inspiration.
Because I can use it up to a number of times up to my Charisma modifier,
Right.
which is 3.
Okay.
Okay, and hey Trout. Hey, remember
Hell
that?
yeah.
Remember that time with the guy? Oh, guy. Remember the time with the guy and you did that spinning toe hold and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do that again.
Got you,
Yeah.
got you, fam.
So then I'm going to cast, what is it, Crusader's Mantle was a 3rd level spell of mine. Holy power radiates from me within the aura of a 30-foot radius, awakening boldness in all friendly creatures. Until the spell ends, the aura moves with me, centers on me, and while each non-hostile creature is in the aura, including me, deals an extra 1d4 radiant damage when it hits with a weapon attack.
What's the aura? How big is the aura?
30, so basically that circle.
Oh, okay.
Everything
Same
in that circle.
Got it.
Everything that's friendly, then it gets 1d4 radiant damage.
Nice.
What?
All right, yeah, good buffer. Valkos,
Dude, clerics.
so buff.
Fuck your own counter.
Trout, you got a prone Ted next to you. He is almost dead.
I have
He
a
is
prone Ted.
being ripped apart by his own wolves, and a very angry Trout as well.
Finish him.
Finish him.
What's all my
Spinning toe
bonuses?
hold.
How many bonuses do I get?
You get a bonus to damage this time, plus a d4 to your attack rolls,
Okay, so I'll roll to attack. So,
and advantage.
so I'm using my full action.
Give me
so-
one swing.
but so much.
I just need one swing.
Well, that's a critical failure.
Okay, but you have advantage.
But I have advantage, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that was a 2. So that
Wait. I'm going to use my. Wait,
Can that be used as a reaction? I guess it has to be.
Let's see.
I'm gonna see if we
Never
can.
mind. I can't. It has to be either my target or me.
You were up all night to get lucky, but it just didn't happen. All right, you want to take your second swing?
Yep. That's going to be at least a 21.
Okay, that's a hit.
And I didn't crit. So, and then I'm going to use Fury Blows.
Well, roll me some damage before we even get
And remember,
into that.
every damage you also get a plus d4 radiant damage.
Jesus Christ. All right. So it's going to be at least 4 plus 10 points of. Nope. Yep, that's 10 points of damage.
Too bad your ass got killed. Ted is dead.
Boom.
The hunt for Ted MacLoeber is now at a conclusion. All right.
Isn't that Michael Jackson?
Did you not figure that out by the title like hours ago?
Out.
All right, Trout, you can still move, but you can't take another swing.
I know. I'm going to move towards Big Bad in the center.
Okay,
To help.
he's a deer. He got turned into a deer by a mysterious dragon that appeared out of
Is he
nowhere.
still bad?
Is he still within my?
He's stupid.
He's gonna be dead.
Is he still within my spell radius though?
Technically.
He is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you've used your action unless you got a bonus action that does something, Trout.
No, I can flip him off.
All right, cool.
I get really close to that deer and go.
Remember, 1d4 to that finger.
You go.
1d4 to the finger then.
Triff, from behind
The
a
finger
tree.
poke of doom.
From behind the tree, you can see that the gaping hole in the wall is widened, and the 2 lesser armed guys are now exposed to your attack.
So I'm going to go ahead and use my Eldritch Blast.
Roll it. Roll a d20, and I think it's add 7. And a d4.
Wait. I was gonna.
A 2?
No, 12.
Oh, a 12?
7?
Plus 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 19.
That's 19.
Okay,
Then
roll.
do I have the 4 from you or
If
no?
you want it, now roll again for your second attack, and you can add the d4 to either one.
Okay. Oh, 3, so I'd like to add that. So that's
Okay.
9.
Yeah, no
plus
matter how
4,
good
yeah.
you do. All right, one of them hits. So you can hit the guy on the right who has been hurt already. He's been hurt before. Or you can hit the guy on the left.
And I hit the guy on the right.
Hitting the guy on the right, roll damage. That's a d10.
Okay.
Is she? She's not within my range of my spell though.
Let's say she moved.
Okay. She gets, and you get a 1d4 too. And
All
roll
right.
a 1d4 too.
Roll a d4, a pyramid die as well.
Pyramid dice. So it's 2 plus whatever that is. 2. Nope. 4. You read that at the bottom.
Yeah, you kill him.
4. Okay, 4.
Great job. He's
Yay.
dead. All right, the 2 wolves advance on the deer and begin attacking it. They're ripping this deer apart, and they kill that deer.
I was gonna say, and they get a
Save some
1d4 radiant damage as well.
Yeah, so the dire wolves
Cook
do
that
that.
thing.
The satyr, he takes his shot with his bow at that guy, and he misses. The fairy dragon looks at the guy, and let's say he has to save. He saves. So
What
the
happened to the turtle guy?
The turtle guy is in the building. He's right here.
Okay.
Okay, Haruka, you're next to a deer, and there's still an armed opponent over near where the window was.
And I think you're also within my range too as my spell.
Yeah.
Indeed you are. So you can either slaughter this deer alongside the wolves, or you can take out the last of your still armed opponents.
We could use some venison.
I scream, venison!
All right.
And I reckless attack it because I can.
All right, attack the deer.
Recklessly.
Recklessly. That I chop it real good. So that's a 26 to
Yeah,
hit.
you butcher the deer into several fine cuts of venison.
One really good.
No matter how you hit
That
it,
was with advantage.
you're gonna kill it. So
matter.
roll damage. Yeah, it doesn't.
Roll, I would say roll 1d4 too as well.
Okay, so let's do 10. Let's do plus 2. Ooh, okay, 8 plus 2 is 10 damage.
Ding dong, the deer is dead.
Now I do have a second attack. Can I attack?
You can run up and attack. The
Yes.
one guy that's still left.
I am going to do that.
All right, hit him.
With another reckless attack. Yay. Oh, good. Oh, wait. I do have advantage. Not that it really matters. It did. 17, 25.
25 is definitely a hit. Roll damage with the augmented.
And the 1d4.
Oh, I get that still?
Yeah.
Awesome.
As long as you're within range of me.
Cool. Nice.
Well, the D4 can't be. The D4 is from the mantle.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Cool. So that is 11 damage.
11 damage. You hit him hard. Okay. The hippopotamus guy turns to you and he says, "I like your style. Let's finish this." And he pulls a great sword from his belt and he just drops his musket.
I just like that image. All right, let's do this.
And he slices this other hunter clean in half. And that guy is dead and he goes, "That's for my cousin." And he looks over to the corner and he's like, "This is truly a house of horrors."
You're like, and big finale.
Your enemies have all fallen. This house has been invaded by the Fae. And the Dryad steps next to you, Triff, and says, "You've done well, my daughter." And you are free to pillage this house as you see fit.
Thank you, Cleveland.
To search and/or butcher the bodies, should you desire the meat.
Yes.
And to take whichever weaponry you desire. But, as I had said before, the hunt for Ted MacLoeber is now at an end, and the adventuring party is free to spend the night. Your wayward scout guide steps in through the front door.
I immediately attack him.
You owe me money.
I immediately go to tackle him.
Give me my money. Pay what you owe.
I told you I'd come back.
Pay what you owe.
I rolled a 12 to tackle him.
And you still get Crusader Mantle too. 1d4 radiant damage.
Fuck this guy in particular.
All right. He says, you guys handled this. Yeah. And he looks to all the Fae and he says, I'm not with Ted. I'm not with Ted. And they look at him and they nod. The Displacer Beast steps in shortly after him and they're like, "We know. We've been keeping tabs on him." And he looks back and is frightened by the Displacer Beast. So, this tale has come to an end. You've hunted the hunters and protected the innocent animals of the forest.
And now we're gonna sit down and have a nice meal.
Indeed, you will. The fires can once again be lit without.
Who wants an
harm.
encore?
You can serenade.
Hey, guy, go fuck yourself.
Guy looks at you and he says, "I can't say I blame you." All right.
Give me half my money back at least, okay?
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go through and say goodbye to everyone, starting with Lemar. Lemar, where can people find you?
Hello, my name is Lemar. You can find me at Da1 Afro Ninja. That's DA1 Afro Ninja on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can find me at anime conventions. Pick one, I'm probably there.
Not Anime Pasadena.
Unfortunately, I'm missing Anime Pasadena. Pasadena, but you guys should go to Anime Pasadena. You're going to see a bunch of pretty faces like our DM and our lovely Triff here.
It's true.
And me.
Oh, and Mr. Pao.
We're going to try to convince Courtney to show up too.
When is it?
It's this Saturday.
420, man.
It's fine.
That's
it's fine.
in like 2 days.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting my hair done. Sorry.
All right, Triff/Tiffany. What's going on with you?
Oh man, well for 420 this weekend, guys, you can find me at the Anime Pasadena, man. It's gonna be real cool, man.
Manga.
Yeah, you can find me on the socials, the Steamstress, and I had a lot of fun today. It was fast.
I'm glad you had a good time. Courtney,
Hi.
tell us what's going on.
You guys can see me on season 1 of Blank Slate, which just wrapped on
nice.
twitch.tv/Scabby Rooster, where I played the Queenmaker. You can also check me out on Arcana High, on YouTube, on Maze Arcana's YouTube, or if you are local to LA, you can go to Dungeon Master on May 5th. That's how I met
I'm gonna
you.
be there,
Yeah,
for sure.
we're doing a show, and then if you don't want to do any of those things, you can find me on Twitter at the Anime Goddess.
Perfect. And Michael.
Okay, deep breath. All right, you can find me on all over social media, such as my Instagram page and my Twitch page, which is at Mr. Kapao. That's MRKAPAO. And you can also find me on my Twitter, which is at MP Calamity. I'm also the editor-in-chief of Suit Up Geek Out. We're a men's fashion and lifestyle site. And I will be at Anime Pasadena in the fashion show, and also be hosting a panel for Everyday Geek Fashion. And I also actually host Toyzilla Live here on Toyzilla. You can also check us out every Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
It's true, I've seen him do it. Nice. So guys, thank you so much. We appreciate you watching. Those of you that did watch, might be none. I don't know. Who cares? We're going to be posting this up on YouTube, so check out Dimension Dorks on YouTube, and we're going to bring you more episodes next week. And this week, we found out what was up the wizard's sleeve. Maybe next week, we'll find out what's up yours.
#bless.
Do, 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 da, da,